no fool, leave my shop. Get out! Get out now! Don't come back!
She saved a beggar from hitting the pavement, and by nightfall she was signing marriage papers with a stranger. Sophia never imagined the poor old man she fed with her last card was about to change her entire life. What she discovers next will leave you speechless. Watch till the end. The Lagos afternoon sun beat down hard on Balogan Street, where motorbikes weaved between hawkers and the smell of fried plantain drifted from every corner. Sophia adjusted the strap of her delivery bag and pushed her bike through the crowd, her mind already running numbers. How many more drops before she made enough to eat that night? That was when she heard the shout. "If you no get money, come out for my front!" She turned just in time to see a bread seller shove an old man backward. He stumbled, arms flailing, his frail body about to meet the hard concrete, and Sophia moved before she could think. She dropped her bike and caught him under the arms, cushioning his fall against her own body instead of the ground. Papa, are you hurt?" she asked, cradling him gently. "I'm fine, my daughter," the old man breathed, though his voice shook. "I'm fine." Sophia turned to the bread seller, her eyes blazing. "You could have broken his hip. He's an old man." "He won chop bread way him no fit pay for," the seller snapped, crossing his arms. "He say make him grandson come pay. I no be charity." Sophia knelt beside the old man. "Papa, what happened?" He explained, his voice heavy with humiliation, how he'd only asked for a small loaf, promising his grandson would settle the bill when he arrived. The bread seller hadn't wanted to hear it. Sophia reached into her bag and pulled out her debit card, the last one with any real balance on it, money meant for her own rent. She held it out without hesitation. "Give him 2 loaves. I'll pay." The old man's eyes widened. "My daughter, you don't have to—" "It's fine, Papa." She smiled, pressing the bread into his hands. "This is my last money, but I want to use it for you." As the transaction went through, she sat with him on a nearby bench, dusting off his sleeve. "When is your grandson coming?" "He is always late," the old man chuckled, shaking his head. "That boy works too much." "Then tell him to try coming early next time," Sophia laughed. "Papa deserves better." The old man studied her for a long moment, something thoughtful crossing his weathered face. "You would make a fine wife for my grandson." Sophia burst out laughing, waving the comment away. "Papa, I am not thinking about marriage right now. What I need is to hustle, make money, survive this Lagos." She stood, dusting her jeans. "I have to go. My deliveries are calling me. My time is not my own today." Before she left, she pressed a slip of paper into his palm with her number scrawled on it. "If that man troubles you again, or if you need anything, call me. I'll come." She mounted her bike and disappeared into the traffic, unaware that the seed she'd just planted would grow into something far bigger than she could imagine. 3 hours later, a sleek black SUV pulled up to the old man's modest house. Out stepped Simone, 28 years old, sharp-suited, the kind of quiet intensity in his eyes that made people straighten up when he walked into a room. He found his grandfather sitting outside, his clothes still slightly dusty. "Papa, why do you look like this? What happened?" The old man sighed. "The bread seller pushed me. I told him you would pay when you came, and he didn't like that." Simone's jaw tightened. "Which bread seller? I'll deal with him myself." No. The old man raised a hand. "Don't worry yourself. Your wife already took care of it." Simone blinked. Papa, I don't have a wife. I don't even have a girlfriend." The old man smiled slyly. "Not yet, but I found you one today." "Papa, please." Simone rubbed his temple, already exhausted by wherever this conversation was headed. "I don't know who you're talking about." They went inside, but the old man wouldn't let it go, not that night and not the next morning, when he called Sophia and told her he wasn't feeling well. Sophia dropped everything. She rode straight to his house, worry etched across her face. "Papa, what's wrong? Did that man do something to you? Are you hurting anywhere?" I'm fine," the old man said, waving off her concern with a small, satisfied smile. Then he gestured behind him. "Come, let me introduce you to my grandson." Simone stepped forward and Sophia's stomach dropped in confusion. She had no idea that the man standing in front of her, dressed plainly, humble in his manner, was quietly one of the wealthiest men in the entire city, owner of CeeLo, a company whose name was on billboards across Lagos. He'd been raised to keep his fortune close to his chest, and today was no different. "Papa," Sophia said carefully, "I already told you, I'm not ready for marriage." And I already told you the same thing," Simone added, glancing between his grandfather and the woman who'd apparently been chosen for him. "Besides, Papa, I don't even know her." The old man only smiled wider, settling into his chair like a man who'd already won an argument no one else knew they were having. "My daughter, you are a good woman. I would love for you to marry my grandson." Before Sophia could respond, her phone buzzed. She glanced at the screen. Her aunt. She stepped aside to answer, and her voice dropped the moment the call connected. "You still haven't paid my $300,000, her aunt snapped through the phone, loud enough that the tension in Sophia's shoulders was visible from across the room. "If you don't pay soon, I will burn your mother's clothes, throw her things into the street." "Auntie, the debt was only $110,000, Sophia said, her voice cracking slightly. "It keeps growing the longer you wait. If you don't hurry, it will become $1 million. The call ended, and Sophia stood still for a moment, blinking back tears before she could compose herself. "Who was that?" the old man asked gently. "Just family matters," she said quickly. "Nothing you need to worry about." But the old man wasn't fooled. He watched her carefully, then asked again, softer this time. "Will you marry my grandson, Sophia?" "I already told you, Papa. I'm not ready." Her voice wavered, and this time the tears did fall. Quiet, exhausted tears from a woman who'd been carrying too much for too long. The old man reached for her hand. "Please, he will be a good man for you." It was Simone who spoke next, his tone gentle but firm, clearly trying to end the pressure his grandfather was putting on this stranger. "Sophia, the truth is, this house you're standing in? Papa rented it just for a few hours. He wanted to prove to you that we have money. But the truth is, we're poor. I'm sorry." Sophia wiped her eyes and let out a small, surprised laugh. "It's fine. I rent my own place too. I don't mind if you're poor. I'm poor as well." She paused, then added, almost to herself, "But if you really want me to marry your son, you'll have to give me $300,000. I need to settle a debt. I'll pay it back, I promise." The old man's face lit up. "Is that all? I'll give you the money right now." Before either of the younger two could protest, the old man clapped his hands together. "Then go. Get married. Today." Both Sophia and Simone froze, staring at him in disbelief. "Papa, now?" Simone asked. "Yes, now," the old man said, delighted. "I don't want you to lose this woman. She is honest. She is beautiful. Go." In Simone's mind, doubt stirred quietly beneath the surface. "Even after I told her we only rented this place, she stayed. She still agreed. But she asked for $300,000. Could she be after money after all?" He studied her face as she wiped away the last of her tears, searching for an answer he couldn't yet find. Within hours, it was done. Sophia and Simone stood before an officiant, signing their names to a marriage certificate neither of them had planned for. The moment the pen left the paper, Sophia turned to Simone and pressed a folded piece of paper into his hand. "An IOU," she said quietly. "For the $300,000, I intend to pay every naira back." Simone stared at the paper, something shifting behind his eyes. Surprise, maybe even the beginning of respect. "I have to go," Sophia said, gathering her bag. "I have an interview tomorrow, a design company. I studied design. This could be my chance." She left before either man could say another word, riding off into the Lagos evening with a wedding ring on her finger and a job interview on her mind, completely unaware that the company she was interviewing for tomorrow was about to become very, very personal. The next morning, Sophia arrived at the gleaming glass building of CeeLo Company, nerves fluttering in her chest. Around her, other applicants whispered excitedly. "Did you hear the owner of CeeLo just bought this company?" one girl said. "I heard he's young. Dark, handsome, not even married yet, another added dreamily. Imagine being his wife. Imagine the money. Sophia said nothing, walking past them toward the interview office. Another girl stopped her near the entrance. Are you here to see the CEO? I'm here for a job interview, Sophia replied simply. And besides, I'm already married. You just need the job, she muttered under her breath, more to herself than anyone. I have debt to pay. Inside the waiting hall, she froze. Sitting across the room, dressed impeccably, was a face from her past. Becky, an old university classmate from a far more comfortable family. I heard you're delivering food now, Becky said, a slow smile spreading across her face. From best designer in our class to a delivery girl, life is funny. Sophia held her chin up. Work is work. When Sophia's turn came, the interviewer flipped through her CV with a raised eyebrow. Your last job was food delivery? Yes, ma'am, but I studied design, Sophia answered steadily. The interviewer frowned, glancing between two folders. This is strange. Your concept looks identical to another candidate's submission. Becky, who had been called in beside her, gasped dramatically. Sophia, you stole my work. That's a lie, and you know it, Sophia shot back, refusing to back down. You copied me in school, Becky sneered. Now you're copying me again. If I copied you, Sophia said calmly, then explain the concept to them right now. Becky opened her mouth, and nothing came out. She fumbled, stammered, and finally looked away, unable to explain a single detail of the design she claimed as her own. Sophia, calm and clear, broke down the entire concept in front of the interviewers, the inspiration, the structure, the thinking behind every choice. It was, without question, hers. But when the results were tallied, Becky was chosen instead. Her rich uncle, conveniently, worked in the very same jewelry design department reviewing the applications. Unbeknownst to either woman, in a quiet office upstairs, Simone had just been handed both CVs, flagged for their identical designs. He recognized the second name immediately, Sophia, his wife. He froze, then quickly turned to his personal assistant. Take my seat today, he said. Act as the boss during this interview. I don't want her to know I own this company. I'll be your driver instead. His assistant blinked. Sir, are you sure? Do it, Simone said, already reaching for a plain jacket to change into. Later, sitting in the boss's chair, the assistant reviewed both submissions carefully, then made his decision. Sophia's work was original, sharp, and clearly superior. He demoted the interviewers responsible for the unfair judgment on the spot. Sophia thanked the man she believed to be the CEO, overjoyed, unaware that her real husband had been standing quietly by the door the entire time, watching her fight for herself without needing him to save her. That evening, she rushed home to tell Simone the news. I got the job. I actually got it. Simone offered only a flat, distant response. He doesn't care. But behind his calm expression, something in him had already begun to change, because the woman he married out of his grandfather's stubborn insistence was proving, moment by moment, that she was exactly who she said she was. And she had